Alright, so I just kind of wanted to show what I am doing with my game. At least some of the progress that I'm making as far as the goals that I have posted. So one of the things I wanted to do was get some gizmos and handles to help with the visualization of some of my objects, to help with what it is I'm trying to do. So I wanted this tethering mechanic, which I've already tested here, and I'll show a little bit. So let's see here. Once it starts playing, you can see down here that it's going to follow my mouse, and it is tethered to this point down here. So as it reaches its maximum distance, it'll try to pull on that object at the bottom, and I can dynamically adjust the radius that this pulls off of. And the idea being that this will be a line renderer that connects the two, showing like an electrical effect. And I'm hoping to have the source of the sources here like give off light. So this is kind of the goal that I am going for. And to kind of show you the visualization, we'll just stop this and go into my scripts here. So the player object, which is up here, has a bounding box, which I'm visualizing here, and you can see the handle, so I can change the height and width, well, when I don't click off of it, with the handles. And then I can set an origin point for that bounding box, which is just a vector 3. You can see that over here in the inspector. So there's my player. My follow mouse script is right over here. Bounding area, here's the origin. You can see that changes as I move the origin around. And then I've got my bounding things, so the handles are adjusting it. So I was getting that. I also have the chase speed. I wanted to implement some curves, animated curves, to give it some easing values so that it didn't just go at one single speed. It'll actually, as it gets further away, it'll pull harder on the object, so it'll move faster as my mouse is further away from the object. And that's what these down here are for, the mouse tuning, the tolerance, and the distance threshold, so I can give it how far out the maximum that my mouse can be before it's considered full power or full strength for this animation curve. And the tolerance is just how close the object has to get to the mouse before it considers it actually being on the same spot as the mouse. So that's what that does. And then my player base is down here. I can adjust. This shows the radius of the tether. So if I increase this and then we went back and we can play, you can see that the tether will be much further. So see, you can see how it's way up here at the top, pulling around. And then if I wanted to, let's see, you can see now that it's down here with the tether. So the idea is, as the game plays and it collects energy, this radius will dynamically be adjusted. So that's the plan, and I've got it showing here with the handles, which I think makes it a lot easier to visualize and play with. So, and then I also wanted to do some visualization of my waypoints and add animation curve controls so that I could get some unique effects with my waypoints. And I followed a tutorial by Sebastian Lang on how to actually control my waypoints, which you can see up here. Here are my waypoints that are visualized. So let's just go ahead and kill this, and I'll show you what it does. So my waypoint script here has the option to move its parent or not move its parent. So if I can attach it to any object, and check this to move the transform of its parent, or it'll just move its own transform. That's what that's for. I gave it enum so I have a single shot, meaning it'll follow the waypoint once. Reverse, it'll follow to the end of the waypoints and then come back. Loop means it'll just continually go over. So once it gets to the last waypoint, it jumps back to the start and continues. I've also used an animation curve so that I can have easing from point to point. That does mean that I don't have a constant speed. I am normalizing the time vector, so how long it takes to get from one waypoint to the other is normalized so that 0 is the starting position and 1 is the ending position in time. So, and to show that is here I can drag my starting point, which is just a vector right here, to wherever I want, and then I can just click anywhere in the scene as long as I've got the object that's got that script on it selected, and add a waypoint, and I can move that waypoint, and again if I hold down the mouse button it'll drag to where I want it. And you can see that it's over here. It's actually given a structure. Well, I changed it to a class that contains the animation curve, the desired time that I want for it to move from the waypoint to the next waypoint. And then whether I want it to use the default easing or animation curve, or if I want it to have its own animation curve. So I can click in here, and I'll just show you this. We'll just give it this curve here, and then make sure that it's using that curve. Same thing here. Make sure that it's using that curve, and we'll put it on reverse, and we'll give this one this curve here. Make sure that it's using that, and then this. You'll see real quick here that I've got the tracer, which is a prefab of just this generic object here, and it should follow this path. You'll see it go from here to here to here to here. So, and there it goes with the easing. So. Actually, I think I turned off that tracer for the moment. But you can see that it is actually doing the path here, and it's reversing, and it's following the easing. And if I want to, I can insert along the line, and it'll follow that. I can also shift left click and get rid of that. And if I wanted to, you can set it up so that it like that, and it will then look kind of like it's going all the way around before it reverses. And again, that's if I wanted to speed up how fast it's going across here, I would just change the time. Like I'd want it to go, let's say 0.2 seconds. So that leg would only take 0.2 seconds, which should be this one and this one. Oops. Yeah, you see how fast it went through that. So I am thinking about maybe creating a button so that I can give it a single speed that it will calculate based on the entire distance of all the waypoints, and then figuring out how long each distance is, and figuring out what the time should be set to, so that the whole path would be covered over a certain time frame. Though I'm not so sure if that's necessary for this project, since this is going to be a wave. So that's kind of what's going on. And I know why the tracer isn't. It's because I don't have it actually. I don't have it animate, or I changed it into a prefab to make it instantiate, which is what these things are for my wave configuration. So I'm still in the middle of playing with it. But that's kind of the progress that I've been making so far. And now I kind of need to get my wave configuration and instantiations done properly. And hopefully I'll have another update in a little bit. Alright, thank you. Bye.